I like the Suns tonight. I like them laying 6. I thought that spread was fat for how bad they've been playing this season early on and how good Minnesota has looked.
Not so fast.
Midget.
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
This is the first game of Booker, Beal, and KD. This is their debut together.
Yeah, that's fucking beat. Fuck Bradley Beal. He is the worst. And I'm officially off of the Suns tonight. I honestly might even fade him. Justin Herbert, I'm just going to say it. He's mid. Dak Prescott, he's a coin respecter right now. He is. Jameis Winston, though.
I feel like he could go in the GOAT category just because he's Jameis.
You could tell last night. Kent State had no business winning that game. They were never winning that game. Shit bets. I cannot believe what my eyeballs witnessed on the court last night in that. What the fuck, dude?
Took Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. So Baker is screwed. The offensive line is screwed. Nick Bosa is going to terrorize them.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL episode 384 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, on this beautiful Monday afternoon in the primetime slots. How about them apples? Presented by Props.Cash, Javon's favorite app. Javon, I'm sure you've checked out Props.Cash today. You find any squares for this Natty tonight? So you don't have to reveal them yet, but do you do some research and some reconnaissance for the Natty tonight?
Definitely some that are making me think a couple times. That's for sure.
Okay.
I got my eye on some.
Love it. We got sub bangs galore coming in hot. We got Wags Locks giving out a 5U whale, bringing the hype trade up to level 2. Let's fucking go, Wags Locks. Sure you can. We got Chigs 6'9" coming in. Let's fucking go. 2-month sub bang W's. We got Lembong coming in, giving out a subby. Love to see that. Patawat, 10 months with the boys. Thanks for all the milk, WBTL. We got you, Patawat. No worries. UNLV 94. W sub bangs galore today, Javon. The vibes are up. W streamers are here. Okay. We're going to give the people what they need in the Natty for some winners tonight. We've got NBA, NHL. We might even take a peep at some of these NFL wildcard lines that dropped yesterday, Javon, because they're juicy and I can't stop thinking about them. Okay. Plenty to go over today. Let's cut the shit, chat. If you guys haven't downloaded Props.Cash, go check it out. Use promo code BOOKIT for 20% off your first month, 25% off your first month. Sure. Why not go check it out? I promise if you're sending prize picks entries, or placing props on the books, it's a no-brainer. Go check out Props.Cash. It will help you hit more entries, okay? It helps me. I promise, all right? I use it every day. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's do the W recaps from this weekend. We've got a squad ride sweep. Let's fucking go, boys.
How about that?
How about the Magic on Friday, Javon? Great pick there. My goodness. Outright.
Yeah. Outright. A lot of heart.
2 words. Outright.
Shout out the guy on the screen for carrying them when they had no team. He was out there crazy.
Pal, he might be that guy, pal. People are starting to talk.
Guy.
He might be that guy, pal. Okay, he balled like it, and he carried and cashed that bet for us. And now everyone's singing that stupid Orlando Magic song in their heads right now. I know I am, and I can't fucking get it out. So we might have to just start betting Orlando for the vibes every game or never speaking about them ever again because I need to get that song into my fucking head. Okay. We got a Ron Mux Clam subby coming in hot as we go over this sub bang squad ride sweep. Chat. I know we put in our best effort for these squad rides and we try to find you guys winners and we've done a pretty solid job of it over the last year or two. But how about a 3-0 weekend for the squad ride? And how about a 5-0 start to the squad ride in 2024? Knock on wood.
Huge.
Always got to knock on wood. Okay. Javon, you absolutely cleaned up shop in the NFL. A little bounce back. After I carried last week, looks like I passed you the baton this week, and you absolutely dominated the NFL slate. What is that? I can't do math, but 7-1.
6-1, yeah.
6-1.
I had to do something because I'm pretty sure I did the exact opposite last week. So we were a little more dialed this week, which was nice.
Sure. I was not. Looks like the Mostert less than a touchdown push because he didn't play. Yeah, I might count that as a green, or at least a green X. Allen less than a pick. That was a terrible square. I realized the day of the game how much Josh Allen owns the Dolphins. And if I knew that during the week, I would not have put that square on here, but that's okay. I live bet the Bills when they were down a touchdown right before the punt return. I couldn't give 2 shits if that interception square didn't hit because I feel like Jesus Christ himself locking that live bet in before that punt return. I literally felt like I knew the future. It was unbelievable. We take this, Javon, we move. You absolutely carried. I need to be better. But the NFL plays yesterday did pretty good. The ones that I posted and tweeted and put on Pickett, okay? Arizona +3, banger, sure, never in doubt. Should have been an M out. Sorry, Trent. Tennessee plus 3.5. Absolute donkey.
Yeah,
Donkey.
wager.
2 words, donkey. And then Carolina plus 5 should have hit. They had a touchdown. They fucking fumbled it out of the end zone. Stupidest rule in the NFL. So we moved, we grew, we take 2-1 any day of the week and twice on Sundays. And we went 2-1 in the NFL on Sundays. So W recap there.
Every pick in the squad right vote hit. So
Sure.
All 3 days or just yesterday?
no, just yesterday.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. The 4 ones we had in the poll smacked.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go,
Sure.
Goots. That's a W Goots now. Love to see
W.
that. Love to see that. Let's go. Let's recap the Hail Mary, which lost, I believe, on Florida, the first leg. Javon looked me in the eyes. He said, hey, pick one of these 2 college basketball plays, either Wake Forest or Florida, and I picked the wrong one. That's on me. That's on me. Okay, Florida does not know how to close. It was always Wake Forest, and it sucks even more because the rest of this is about to go perfecto. Texans smacked. Titans smacked. What else we got below there?
Cards, I think, right?
Already hits, and then it comes down to Michigan tonight. That stinks. That stinks. And that's on me. And we're going to bounce back with some sort of Hail Mary next week with the NFL playoffs, with college basketball. We're going to figure it out. Okay. The 5 guys entry, Javon, right now it has life. People are starting to talk about it. All right. People are starting to show the slip. It has life. Now, are we in an ideal spot right now with them boosting Corum's rushing yards? No, we're not. I saw that was some sort, but I think that might be gone now. It was like a quick taco. Was it like a half?
They're
taco?
already gone?
I think it was gone by 2 p.m. Eastern is what they said. So somebody in chat can confirm if it's still up there or not. But either way, do not love seeing him be a taco, but it's still going to be the Blake Corum show, not wavering, Javon. This 5-piece, 5 guys entry is smacking tonight. All right, we finished the job with Corum. We get it done. Confidence level scale 1 to 10. How you feeling after seeing that private picks taco?
I mean, I don't love it, but I still feel really good about it because I'll tell you what, and we'll talk more about this while we go on about the squares and stuff for this game, but he ain't going under less than this line just because Washington's stopping him, because that's not going to happen. The only way that's going to happen is if Donovan Edwards is the guy, which I kind of like his square too, and he gets a lot more carries than people expect. So there's a couple ways to attack it, but I'm still feeling good about Corum, especially if he breaks one early.
Okay. Yeah, I like Corum, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. I think there's another way to target him as well, which could be profitable. Let's move on to talk about King of the Board here real quick. Chats, we're bringing it back this week. All right, so we're going to give you some time. If you want to go to this tweet on Book It BTL, drop a crab, drop a milk, drop a chirp in the comments, whatever the hell you want to do. Somebody from the winning team a week from today on BTL will get some free Prize Picks promo in their accounts if you pick the winner. Okay. I don't know what the year to date is. I think I'm still up, I believe. I think we've only done this like 4 times, 3 times. I think I'm up like 2-1 or 3-1. Hot start.
Yeah, I think it's 3-1.
See if we can keep moving and grooving. Okay. Let's see if we can keep moving and grooving here. I saw a lot of milks. I don't blame them. Looks like they think Javon is due here. I think he is too, because he took it personally last time I chirped. So we'll see if Javon comes with the King of the Board winners today. We'll see if he has any plays tonight before the end of the show today for King of the Board. Guys, if you haven't noticed those graphics on Twitter, on Book of BTL, knock on wood, they've been turning pretty green. So let's lock in these PODs. Let's lock in these King of the Board plays. Not just a challenge to sit back and watch, but these are also pretty much our favorite plays of the day, and you should probably be tailing them responsibly as well. Okay, W's. No real steam crabs today, but I do feel like getting a little bit mad about Ron Rivera. I feel like we might as well just get this over with, Javon. Rip the Band-Aid off. I got a couple comments, I got to say, and we don't need the intro because I'm not really that mad. Today's a good day for Washington. Today's a good day for DC, Javon, and I'll lead it off with this. Ron Rivera is a very good person. Ron Rivera was the guy that shit organization filled with a bunch of bad people needed to try to clean it up a little bit. He was the guy. Now, is he a good football coach? No, he's not a good football coach. We've learned that over the past couple of years. He doesn't even know what his record is. He doesn't even know that his team is mathematically not eliminated from the playoffs last year. This guy, he's past his prime, and it's sad. And it's time for him to hang him up, right? He's a moose shit coach. And I wish him all the best at the end of his, tenure here. I appreciate his efforts, I guess. But he was one of the worst, most average coaches I've ever witnessed in my life. Not a single adjustment or change was ever made during a season or a game. And every month he would say one baffling comment that would seem like he had no fucking idea what was going on. the amount of times he would make draft picks and recommend players and they would never work out was more than the players that he hit on. He didn't do anything right. The only thing he did was be a good person and try to clean up the organization. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if he really did that. So, Ron, we'll be seeing, brother. You were a terrible coach. We are in the same spot now that we were in 4 years ago, if not maybe even worse. But I'm extremely happy for this potential rebrand next year. Very happy for a new coach, new GM. Very happy for the new guys that our owner just hired from the NBA who are supposed to be fucking wizards. We got the GM from the Warriors who built that dynasty up. I'm ecstatic. Okay, it's a new fucking regime. It's a new time in DC, and we're done with the mediocrity and the averageness and the laziness and the complacentness of Ron Rivera and him getting away with it. I still don't know why he got away with it. I don't know how he did, but Ron, I wish you the best in life, my man. I wish you a happy and healthy retirement. And you were a terrible head coach who should have been fired 2 years ago, brother. We'll be seeing. We'll leave it at that. All right. Any comments for Ron before we move, Javon?
Hey, no, it's small because it happened.
Yeah.
See, great era of Commanders football, of course.
Unbelievable. People forget he literally did not know the team could make the playoffs last year. People forget.
Crazy.
He is a bozo.
The GM of the Bears said that he would give the first pick away for a ransom. That was his word, ransom.
Shit.
Well, we're going to get it. We're going to get it.
Speaking of the Bears, Fields is gone.
You
I don't know
think
if
he's
you
gone?
saw it. You see the interview or the press conference?
No.
It was basically a thank you guys for everything. It sounded like a guy who was told the plan very, very clearly that he is out of Chicago. So, yeah, you can put the sound on for this. But he's very clearly out.
Yeah, I can't hear shit.
Yeah, I don't
know
know
if you guys can hear it, but that is no bueno because I want to go trade up for the number 1 pick and get Caleb Williams. If we don't get Caleb Williams, I don't think any of these other QBs are worth our time.
Here we go.
That's for, making my job a little bit harder. But, just the city of Chicago, love y'all. Appreciate the fans and the support from all the Bears, in case this is my last rodeo with y'all, and just appreciate y'all for everything. So, thanks.
Yeah, you're not saying that unless you're gone.
Maybe he's just getting out ahead of it. I don't know.
No.
Maybe he doesn't want to leave the city in the dust if something blindsides him in a couple of months that he doesn't know. I don't fucking know, dude. He's gone as shit after hearing that. I don't know what to say. That's beat.
Welcome
and it looks
to
like
Atlanta.
The Bears are getting Caleb Williams.
Fields will be thrown to Drake London in a mere couple of months.
The Bears still could trade the number 1 pick. I don't know that after watching that fucking interview. Seeming like they're going to have a really good star quarterback from USC, the under center in Chicago. And that's what I would do if I was the owner, because Caleb Williams don't fucking grow on trees. And I'm tired of people saying that anyone else should go ahead of him. Guys, teams should be trading their entire fucking rosters and all their picks for a guy like Caleb Williams. He's a team organization changer. He is a Pat Mahomes type hype. And I want him on my team. But it seems like the Bears do too. So we're fucked.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about some NFL wildcard lines since we are on the topic of the NFL. I am absolutely juiced up for this NFL playoffs, Javon. We are blessed with some great matchups. We've got your Bucks involved. Love to see that. If only somebody said before the season they were going to win the division, and somehow that was correct. Look at that.
Yeah,
the Bucks. What is it? 3 years in a row they won that division. They own it. Dynasty.
If you would have told me that, like right after seeing the Jameis walk-off pick 6 for a 30-30 season, I would have said you're smoking every kind of hard drug. And look at him now.
And that's why we love the NFL, because it's unpredictable, and that's why they play the games.
Hey,
all
shout
right?
out that
Love
Moose
it.
division.
Yeah, and honestly, I got to give some credit to your guy, Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield.
Don't give him credit,
He's said and done some really stupid things in his life. So have a lot of people. But he's really grown up, and he's really developed into the leader of that team, and he is such a buck. He's so blue-collar, his moxie, playing through injuries, chirping, shit-talking. He is such a buck, and he deserves way more respect no matter what happens in this Eagles playoff game, because he's playing with fucking broken ribs. I don't care if they don't score in this game. This season has been a W for the Bucks, and you've got to be happy with what you saw out of your guy, Baker Mayfield. I would love to be rooting for him at QB. He's got so much fucking moxie and heart. I wish he was my QB. I do. With that being said, how many points are you guys going to lose to the Eagles coming up in this matchup? A lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not giving him much of a shot in that game. So you can say that's pessimistic fan talking or whatever. Everybody seems to love the Bucks and the Rams, both the underdogs near that side of the bracket. I don't see it happening. I don't think that game might be 9-6 for all we know.
Dude, this Bucks team, look, I never thought I'd be fading them and maybe even taking the Eagles in the playoffs come a couple months ago, but the Eagles have played so bad. Nobody wants to touch them. No. Even fucking ESPN is chirping them now, and they literally had Jalen Hurts halfway down their throats for the whole year. And even they're getting in on the action saying, well, how long do we wait for the Eagles to come back and turn it on? Even they're starting to chirp. I never thought I'd be saying this, Javon, but it might be the fucking Eagles in the playoffs. If you would have told me I'd be saying that 2 months ago, I'd say you're absolutely crazy. But the stock could not be lower. This team could not be playing shittier. And the Bucks, look, I know they had a really good stretch there like about a month ago where they were absolutely firing on all cylinders offensively. The last 2 games, we don't have to count them, I guess. Baker Mayfield's hurt, a lot of pressure. They're playing really tight, right? I think they're going to get obliterated in this spot. And the Eagles laying 3 on the road with how bad they played recently tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, I think realistically, I think it'll be close. But I think that move, it opened 2 and it's already up to 3, which I don't know how you're getting a point of steam already for a team in the Eagles that is banged up to shit and already playing like shit the last handful of weeks. I think that tells you all you need to know. It's like, I don't know if the Bucks are going to be able to hang in this game.
Window Liquor 123 coming in with a subby. Let's go, Beast. Love to see that. We got Crisco 019 coming in with a subby. Ron, as always, dropping a subby. Death Taxes and Ron Muck's Clam, Muck and Clam, and dropping sub bangs. Love to see that, Beast. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. We got a Hype Train level 4 chat. If anybody else is feeling generous, drop a fucking subby for the people. All right. If you made some money this weekend, if you hit some bets, if you tailed Javon's POD, maybe think about dropping a subby. I'll give you a shout out. Okay. Dubs. We got another one. Ryan Kinney, 27. Sure. All right. Sure. Let's look at these other games real quick, Javon. I didn't want to just pick apart your Bucks. Let's look at these other games first. Okay. Browns and Texans. Give me Joe Flacco for a 5U whale on the money line on the road against rookie CJ Stroud and the Texans. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, that might be my favorite play as of now out of any of the games. Browns on the road, which also I think they caught a little bit of steam too. I mean, I don't think the defense is going to be like super dominant. Like I think this could be probably the most fun game of the wild card weekend. It might be the first. I think it's the Saturday 4:30 p.m. slot. Yeah, it is. But yeah, I like the Browns here. I think it's going to be a fun game. Joe Flacco outduels Stroud.
I mean, yeah, he's going to have to. But looking at the
lines, bangs.
It's coming. Wow, 5U, but 5U Megalodon subwhale from Total Slayer dropping a 5U whale. Let's fucking go, dude. We got Devin Makes Music giving out a subby. What's up, Devin? Hope you're doing well, bro. I saw you're cooking up some wings this weekend. They look fire. W's, boys. We got Eric Betts dropping a follow. If you guys are in here for the first time, drop a follow. We go live every single day, giving you guys winners on the board. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about the Natty after we finish up these NFL look headlines. Okay. Got to be the Browns. And I think I'm with you, Javon. Maybe the nastiest and maybe my favorite play so far. I know it's early, a lot could change, a lot of time, but I'm loving the Browns on the road here against, America's team, the Texans, after making the playoffs in CJ Stroud and their head coach's first year. Unbelievable run. I'm praying that we can replicate something similar next season. Praying.
Yeah.
But those don't grow on trees. Those seasons don't grow on trees.
And it could happen if the Browns win this game, right? You could have Joe Flacco strolling into Baltimore next week.
I was just about to say the crazy part about this is that Ravens fans are almost rooting for the Steelers so we don't have to play the Browns.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like that's a Ravens fan's worst nightmare.
If the Chiefs are going to beat the Dolphins, which it looks like it might, I mean, we're rooting for the Steelers. So we don't have to play Joe Flacco. Wow.
Dude, so be honest, man. Are you shaking in your boots, quivering?
Yeah.
Thinking about having to play against Flacco? Because that is no bueno.
It's 30 degrees outside, and I'm colder than I should be. Yes, I'm quivering.
Yeah. You're quivering. You should be. You should be. This playoffs, Goots, if you can pull up that meme, the tweet meme from the NFL that you showed earlier that has all these different matchups and old players going to play their old teams and shit. I wanted to read through that again. This playoffs is going to be literally a fucking movie, chat. Tyreek Hill going back to Kansas City, Matt Stafford going back to Detroit, Mike McCarthy facing his old squad, I fucking bet. Texans facing Cleveland, the team they made the trade with, Deshaun Watson. A lot of drama, a lot of fucking insane matchups with old players, old coaches, scenarios, connections. It's going to be an absolute movie. I'm so fucking excited. The only thing I'm not happy about is that they're fucking airing some of these NFL games on these streaming services exclusively, which I'm not really that blown about because I have them, but that's bullshit.
Chiefs Dolphins on Peacock so they can get the Swifties to watch
that'd be
business. That'd be a business move, but yeah, like what it was already bad enough when it was a primetime game. Now it's a playoff game. I mean, give me a break, dude.
Dude, like what's next? RedTube's gonna get buy the rights to the fucking Commanders season opener. I'm gonna have to watch it on there. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah, I mean, the way we're about to get shellacked in week 1, it'd probably be a similar video. God, man. Enough is enough. Why can't we just fucking watch the games on TV? I pay $250 a month to have Xfinity to watch fucking cable sports games that are live, and now they're pulling this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, chat. Maybe I should just hit a bet and not care about it. You know what I mean? All right. What else we got? Let's take a peep at these other games. I think we got 2 more to go over. I don't want to forget about them, and then we're going to move and groove. Book at Twitch needs to snag a primetime NFL game. Yeah, maybe it'll be on here. Maybe we'll be airing it and commentating it at this point. Who fucking knows? Javon, Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win the game. I don't know if I want to lay the spread. I know the Dolphins just lost that game last week, but I just don't see Tua having any sort of success against this Chiefs defense playing out of their minds. And Pat Mahomes, it's not like he's been playing great recently either. I think the Chiefs correct that and get a big-time win here. It's not going to be easy. It's probably going to be ugly. This game's going to go under. But I like the Chiefs on the ML, and I'm parlaying it with Michigan tonight.
Yeah, I really wanted to get involved with the Dolphins in some form or fashion, partially because we have a lot of favorites this week that are in similar spots for Wild Card Weekend. But this feels like the one where nobody's really given the Dolphins a bad and hellish chance. And the one thing that is keeping me far, far away is that this is supposed to be like single-digit temperatures in Kansas City. So like, the Dolphins going to that environment. I know the Chiefs haven't been great. Obviously, that offense still has a lot of work to do. The defense has always been there this season, but it's hard to imagine the Dolphins offense being to keep up in that game, even if it is super low scoring, which I agree with you, it could be. That's a tough situation.
Danny's saying all he's seen all day is Michigan. Danny, I don't need to hear that right now, brother. Respectfully. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're having a great Monday, but I do not need to hear that right now. The units have been placed. Okay. And we're going to talk about the Natty here in a minute, chat. So stick around. We got a first-time chatter, J Rush 9, Washington or Michigan money line tonight. J Rush 9. I already got Michigan parlayed with a couple plays from the past week. Just waiting to cash on the offshores. And we'll definitely have another play. Probably going to go Chiefs ML with the best bets below. Parlayed with Michigan, a little football 2-teamer for this week to take the edge off at plus chick. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't want to lay Michigan spreads, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I don't want to lay the Chiefs spread here. Because they've been playing so fucking bad. But I do think the Chiefs get a win here in the cold temps against the Dolphins team that seemingly just is falling apart and everyone keeps getting hurt every single fucking game. I'm going to lay with the Chiefs here on the ML and parlay with Michigan at plus money.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that game yet, but we'll see. We'll see where it moves.
Okay. And then Steelers-Bills. Thoughts on this game? Looks like a little bit of pullback. Maybe it's just this green book, but I saw some 10s earlier today.
Yeah.
Steelers back to plus 9.5. It's got to be plug your nose and bet the Steelers or nothing here in this spot, at least on the spread, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Because I mean, I don't know if you have seen this big bad Bills run defense the last handful of weeks, even though they've played really good. It hasn't been all that good. And truthfully, if the Dolphins were running the ball all game, probably a little more, they should have a little more last week or yesterday, but A-Chain was on like a snap count or whatever. We found out after the game. He was dicing them. So like the Steelers, sneakily, all the Najee Harris haters are very silent right now because he's been really, really good to close the season. Jalen Warren's obviously kept up his productivity too. So like, is Mason Rudolph going to win them this game or keep it close? No, probably not. But they would have run the ball pretty effectively. That's a scary spot for the Bills, especially if you get a couple of those bonehead Josh Allen turnovers that give the Steelers good field position, which if you don't give the Steelers offense much help, there's not much they can do. But if you do that, that'll make it interesting. So, like, I think they keep it close in this game.
I'm with you. That total has already come down so fucking much too, which also points to the sign that you were just talking about. Steelers going to run the living shit out of the football. And you know
I've
what?
also seen it. That's like, there's a couple bad weather games. In this one, there's like 20-mile-per-hour winds projected, which it's a week away. So, I mean, it could change, but that definitely has something to do with the total going down more than a touchdown right now. So, if it's that type of game, I worry about the Bills. I'm not going to lie.
Same. It's the nervous Nelly Bills who always find a way to fuck it up against Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, who have cojones of steel and always find a way to keep a game close or find a win. It's like the worst nightmare ever for the Bills in this spot. And everything's been going a little bit too well for the Bills recently. I mean, guys, remember you all said in chat they weren't going to make the playoffs 2 months ago, and you all freaked out when I said to buy stock on them and bet them at plus 500 to win the division or whatever? Well, now we're here. But this is the spot now that we have to fade. I hate to say it, but we drop off the Bills. Now we got to let them go. Let them be free here after riding in the last 2 months. Now we got to fade them. And back to Steelers here and Mason Rudolph, because nobody thinks they have a fucking chance. They're going to run the shit out of the ball. The temperatures are going to be terrible. All right. The game's going to go under probably. But Josh Allen and the Bills, there's going to be fumbles. There's going to be interceptions. There's going to be turnovers. And the Steelers are going to find a way to keep this within a tutty. I've already seen it. Yeah, Steelers are frauds. Dude, how can you say that?
I think a lot of people are remembering the last time we saw this game in the playoffs, how that turned out, because that wasn't remotely close. And now we have, in all likelihood, I would say no TJ Watt and the third string quarterback, technically, if you want to talk about what Mason Rudolph is, even though he's been probably better than the other two quarterbacks that have played this season. I don't know. I don't think it's that easy to keep it the same, especially when you dominate the game on the ground. If that's a possibility and the weather may lend itself to that, it's a little less lopsided of a matchup than it seems like.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they played him in the playoffs. Maybe they played him at the end of the regular season or something, Javon. I was trying to look into that.
Was.
Okay. It was probably that 38-3 pace.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
2 seasons
about.
ago. Okay. W's. All right, chat. Packers and Cowboys. Mike McCarthy playing against his old team. The trendy Packers, who look unbelievable. Their offense is just getting better every week. It's really exciting and cool to watch. And you got to tip your cap to LaFleur, to Jordan Love, to this young receiving core. This team is one of the younger teams in the playoffs. And for them to go down the stretch and have a great second half like this reminds me a lot of the old Commanders team with Kirk Cousins when they started out terrible a couple years ago and then got hot and won like 8 of their last 9 games on the stretch and made the playoffs. But then it didn't matter in the playoffs. I don't know if it's going to matter here. I do think the Packers probably keep that within the number, but I think the Cowboys find a way to win it. But again, it's coaching. I don't want to bet Mike McCarthy in this game, although he is playing against his old team, which sketches me out a little bit, Javon. I'm still a LaFleur guy, and I've been very impressed with the adjustments they've made to kind of see the success and set up Jordan Love to have success, especially against the blitz when everyone's been fucking absolutely sending the house at Jordan Love, and he continues to impress and make the throws he needs to. The Packers have been a little bit too good recently, but so have the Cowboys. What the fuck do we do with the spread here? Although I will say this is probably the square over I can get behind.
This is a square over that I can get behind too, because I think both these offenses are going to look really good. But in my mind, I would say the Cowboys have been good, you can argue, but they haven't covered a game since the Eagles game that we were there for. So that's 3 straight games where they have not covered the spread. Obviously, they lost the game with the Dolphins, which was the lone underdog situation that I guess they had in those games. Or I guess the Bills was an underdog too, but weird games kind of all around. But very close games. So the ones that they've won. So to see the Packers, as well as they're playing offensively with the touchdown on the hook, I know it's Dallas at home where they've been super dominant. In my mind, that looks pretty enticing to take for a lot of bettors. I guess you could argue the other side that they're going to mean a lot of teasers, the Cowboys are, but I don't know. This just feels like a pretty telling line, especially that it's gotten up to the hook so early.
Hate to say it, but as a Commanders fan, they did cover yesterday, but
yeah,
it definitely has not been all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Commanders game. I'm talking about the actual games, the Lions, Bills, Dolphins. Yeah, the Commanders really do not fit.
What a joke. What a hilarious start to the game. I get a text from Javon. He's geeking out watching the Commanders game. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why the fuck is he watching this game? I guess it's probably on Red Zone, but
yeah, it was I had the quad box.
Hilarious start, dude.
Quad box going. I was like, yeah. I figured there's gonna be some like weird start to the game where the Commanders were gonna have life.
Always.
and it was going to
Always
fall
is.
apart eventually, which I guess
Blocked
it did.
field goal.
It was just
Sure.
hilarious. Yeah, talk about Brandon Aubrey, blocked field goal and a miss right before the
That's
playoffs.
not what you want to see from your star kicker, who everyone's acting like is already better than Justin Tucker heading into the playoffs. I mean, the special teams coach, I heard he hasn't blinked in 24 hours after those missed extra points and kicks, because now he's fucking shaking in his boots, quivering like Goots, waiting to play Joe Flacco on the Browns. We got a Fat Girls Inc. 10U community sub whale. Are you fucking kidding me, Fat Girls Inc.?
Oh,
Are you kidding me, dude?
that'd be Fat Girls.
Are you rich? Fat Girls, are you rich this weekend, bro? Have you been smacking bets?
For sure.
You got to be rich, bro. What have you been hitting, dudes? Let's go, Fat Girls. What do you say, kids? Total Slayer came in and gave a 5U. We know that, though. We already shut him out. We did. Let's fucking go, boys. We got sub bangs galore on this Monday. You guys are hyper running the stream. We mucked this weekend. Wouldn't expect anything less. W's, Fat Girls Inc. All right. Rams and Lions. Interesting. Javon, you said a lot of people wanted to take the Rams here as well. I don't like hearing that. I hope that kind of simmers.
It's quite easily the most public dog of the weekend, it seems like. But, I mean, I can't get myself away from it, to be honest with you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm in love with the Rams plus 3.5, if you can get the hook. I'm in love with it. This is an issue, though. And this is something I've learned as well myself. Sometimes the more I like a play, the worse it is. And it's always those 1U responsible geysers that you like, and you follow accordingly and stick to the plan and bankroll management that'll hit. But I can't lie. Sean McVay getting the game plan and script against his old QB, Jared Goff, is making me feel things. And I want to fucking bet that side. I am a Sean McVay stan. I think he's one of the smartest football minds on the planet. He is. He's a goat. And the fact that this Ram team was doubted like they were before the season, the fact that the smartest football minds in the world, the odds makers, the bookmakers, had the Rams at like 6.5 on the win total or whatever it is. Somebody asked PODP because he fucking hammered the over and it was free.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So now this team is sitting here at 10-7. What a run from Matt Stafford, from Puka, who, by the way, is a goat and deserves his flowers, breaking that record yesterday. They rested Cooper Kupp, so he should be relatively healthy, at least as healthy as he can be for this game against Detroit, who, sure, they've covered 4 games in a row. There is a loss in there, though, to the Cowboys, so it's not like they've won all those games outright. It seems like the Detroit woes are relatively over, but something still feels a little off about Jared Goff right now compared to early on in the season when they looked unstoppable and unbeatable. And, guys, Jared Goff has been known to fold like a Dollar Tree lawn chair in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sean McVay, veteran Matt Stafford, this offense and a defense that's been playing much better recently and is at least good enough to compete with the Lions team that might make the mistakes themselves for the Rams. It's sketchy, and I like the points, even if it's public.
Yeah, it is. It is super public, but I don't know if I can get myself away from it. Like, I like the Rams. I think that Lions team, like you said, it just feels like something's off with them. The chemistry with that offense feels like it's there one drive and then it's gone for the rest of the game. And obviously Dan Campbell has been very over-aggressive, not just in the Cowboys game, but in a couple different situations, which kind of backfired on them. And I think this Rams defense has gradually gotten better throughout the season as, you know, their offense has started going on this run to end the year too. So, like, yeah, big revenge game on both sides, not just with Stafford, but also with Goff. This is literally the matchup in the playoffs from the trade, which is all the more interesting why a lot of the wild card storylines are really good this weekend. But
insane. Almost like they were scripted.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that Laporta's not playing in the playoffs either.
I was waiting for the comments. Wasn't going to bring it up.
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't even think twice about the Rams if Laporta was on the field. I wouldn't be able to click the button myself. I wouldn't be able to do it. But I mean,
have you heard anything? Have you talked to him?
Nah,
talked to his doctor?
I wish. I saw something come out that Dan Campbell said like there's a slight chance or something that he plays. I don't believe that. Like, he's not.
It looks so bad. I mean, when they grab their knee like that during the play, like my man's was still in the air grabbing his knee.
Yeah,
like that's his body telling him your knee just exploded, buddy.
It's a good thing. He I think he didn't tear anything. He just like hyperextended it, which was the diagnosis so far. So I mean, it's good for the long term. I would be shocked, stunned, and surprised if he even came close to suiting up this week.
Yeah, and if he plays, he's going to be useless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that for a second from Dan Campbell, respectfully. Maybe it's just, you know, coach speak, Got to let the teams know that maybe there's
Yep.
a chance we're going to have one of our best weapons in the middle of the field against you guys. But yeah, that's a sad thing to see.
That is, prayers up. What a year, though, from Laporta, whether he plays or not. And prayers up and hope he has a great recovery either way, whether he plays in this game or not. But what a year. What a
10
call.
tutties.
Unbelievable. He's the tight end of the future.
Yes.
Okay. Laporta, the tight end of the future. Look, Don Kincaid, he's very impressive too. I put him right up there, 1B. He's starting to get hot too. And I feel like if they didn't have Dalton Knox, he'd probably be getting even fed even more. But it's, not even a question. Sam Laporta, the best tight end in that draft class, the best young tight end in the NFL. He's a GOAT. Great call with him just this year, Javon. It was very fun sweating him out and watching him smack all those props for us. Straight up.
That's crazy. What a year. What a GOAT.
We got Codes Evan coming in, W Championship Monday stream. Yeah, we'll fire up some night sweats tonight. Okay. We'll get some night sweats going tonight, folks. Got to sweat it out. Might even get Lembong loose. We'll see. Depends how the game goes. Okay. Awesome. I think we just hit all the games. I
think we did.
W's. I'm with you as of right now. It's got to be the Browns on the road as a favorite against America's team. Guys, bookmark that one. Take a mental screenshot of the Browns being a favorite. We are betting on Joe Flacco. We are betting on the coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. We are betting on We are betting on the best defense in the NFL. Debatably. We are. And they're going to win that game. Okay. W's, and yes, see Laura Lembong could be the difference. People are starting to talk. Okay. Let's move. Let's groove. We just went over the wild card lines. There are some absolutely heinous college basketball games on today. But what kind of BTL show would this be if we didn't cover them? We're going to power through them. All right, chat. And then we got Natty talk on the horizon. All right, stick with us. 10 minutes-ish. All right, we're going to power through CBD. I know you guys got some plays, so throw them out in chat. What do you guys like today? Not the greatest slate. It ain't much, but it's honest work. And we're going to go over it. All right, Javon, I know you might have a play in one of these games. We could start out with the game of the night in college basketball in Northeastern Monmouth. Any plays here?
I have absolutely nothing in that game. I hope you don't.
No, I don't. And I know why you say that, because I like betting on some Northeastern. And I like fading some Monmouth, but I'm also not a fool. And I recognize these teams that are in sharp spots or anti-sharp spots like Monmouth is every single fucking game. And it doesn't matter. They still continue to crush my bet. So I no longer bet on Northeastern religiously anymore because they don't cover. The odds makers must have just went to Northeastern or something. They just think they're the greatest team of all time. They never cover. Ever. And then Monmouth, on the other hand, never gets any respect. I'm good on that game. But you know where I lean, and it is Northeastern. God damn it.
Of course. I can respect it.
Oy. How about Delaware State, Morgan State? Sure. Good?
Nothing. I'm good there.
All right. Yep. You got to play in Norfolk State, NC Central, though, huh?
I do. And
yeah.
Don't ask me why I've paid attention to this probably more than the average human should, but there's a couple of these weirder games in the MEAC when it's against these usually like top two teams or best couple of teams, and it usually includes NC Central and Norfolk. But whenever it's at home for North Carolina Central, where this may be surprising to some people, but the biggest home court advantage in all of college basketball by the numbers is North Carolina Central. Because this year and the last 2 years, the last 3 years in total, you want to guess what their record is at home?
I'm going to take a guess and say they're undefeated.
Not undefeated, but 28-4 at home.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
is that better than Kent State's run?
Yeah. Including the last this year and the past 2 years.
Yeah, because Kent State's run was, I think, just 1 or 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, it was cut off in the year before that. So the first year of I'm pulling
NC Central to home wagons. Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So whenever they play like in Norfolk State, which is a little different this year because Norfolk State they're usually like a big veteran cast of guys. Like they had Joe Bryant, Chris Bankston, who were there for like 70, 100 years. Like it was crazy. I don't know. They're like the Perry Ellis and the MEAC. But now they're a little bit different of a team. So when it's a game at North Carolina Central, when they're playing a big team, and you have two teams that don't rebound the ball very well, which both of these teams are like in the bottom 50 of all of college basketball, what happens in those games? Because the defenses are fine. They defend the three-point line very well, but the guards get involved in a lot of fast break, transition, get to the layup against weak perimeter defenses. So like I said, you have decent three-point defenses in this game, but they're going to be getting to the rim and they're going to be getting to the free throw line because these teams, Norfolk State is 11th and North Carolina Central is 29th in free throw attempts in the country. So this is going to be slashing to the rim, and teams who, at least Norfolk shoots free throws very well, which I would like the dog to do that. So I think there's going to be points in this game. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of slashing. So I like that over 139.5. And we're going to see this game, a lot of these like high 130s, low 140s in the big games in the MEAC, because you usually see like the higher totals when it's Howard or South Carolina State. You're going to see 140s and 150s. These are kind of the games that I more so like to target. So I think it's going to be higher scoring than a lot of the games against the other teams kind of lend itself to. So I like a lot of points.
Okay. Points. We got my guy Kyle B in chat looking like he's absolutely dialed to the CBB board on Prize Picks. Check out that Fred Cleveland square.
It's a little deceiving because the dates are not right. It's like you're missing a handful of games. Those are only like the games against the big teams for the most part. So like they definitely didn't play their last game on November 12th, obviously.
Okay. W's, always check the Carfax, always check ESPN and check the stats or wherever you guys look. Okay. Who is chirping me for fading JMU in chat? Where are you? Show yourself. B-ball player coach. Sure. Louisiana Lafayette now 19-1 at Crabs. Go JMU, lol. Somebody tell my man's that JMU played and lost on Saturday outright, and I had that bet on Southern Miss.
Yeah, people forget.
I don't think that guy in chat knows they lost this weekend. Has no idea.
No clue.
Right. We're going over in Norfolk State and NC Central, Javon, as we get an Austin Arendes 9 sub bang. We got a Codes Evans sub bang. Let's fucking go, boys. People forget Fat Girls Inc. dropped a 10 U whale. Unbelievable. Any squares you like in that game, though? Or have you not dove into the CBB board yet?
I haven't gotten there that deep because all of the squares are missing a handful of games. I mean, there's only 3 guys up. That Cleveland's up, Jadarius Harris for NC Central, and then Jamari Thomas is up for a couple squares. So I'll figure it out. I'll probably have something there, but I got to dive deeper.
B-ball player didn't know they lost this weekend. Everybody pointing laughing at him. You didn't know they lost. We do it all for Lenny. Sure we do, Fat Girls.
Always.
Sure we do. Everybody drop an L B-ball player co in chat. He had no idea that JMU lost this weekend. All right, let's move. Let's groove. Howard, South Carolina State. Javon, any Howard angles here? I know we've had our eyes on this team all season.
Yeah. I don't know what to do here. Honestly, I thought about Howard, but the way that South Carolina State, I mean, they're a very up-tempo team, which Howard also is, but I think they do it a little more out of control than Howard does, which is why their games are very high variance, which I would think today kind of screams that Howard -4 is a little too easy. I know they haven't put up necessarily the results expected by a lot of sharp bettors, getting burnt on them time and time again, but they've played a lot better teams than South Carolina State has. So, like, I think this is a chaos type game, and in a chaos game, 155 total, I would definitely love to take the dog in SC State.
Okay. SC State with the points at home against Howard. Sure. Who pays attention to teams unless you bet on them? I do. Because that's my job, brother, and I'm better than you. All right. Howard and South Carolina State. Chat likes the over. Javon likes the points. I don't like anything. We got a Super Kints sub bang coming in hot, so let's fucking go.
Oh, GG cake.
Sure.
No back.
Fans?
Back.
Yep. How about University of Maryland Eastern Shore, Javon, against Coppin State? I think this opened up the Shoremen as a favorite, or at least a pick 'em. And now, it's looking like now they're back to a favorite. Huh.
We're up to 2.5.
I saw them this morning as a dog. This is good. So that line's moving back to the Shoremen. I love to see that. I lean the Shoremen here. I don't know if I'm going to get to the counter, Javon, but I lean the Shoremen on the road. Coppin State is that bad, unfortunately, and they're coming off a couple close games where they actually played okay. They kept it close against Maryland, but Maryland, we know how fucking bad they are. We don't have to talk about them. And then Delaware State's, they did almost beat, coming off a 2-point heartbreaking L, looking to break their losing streak. Guys, Coppin State is 1-14. They are down bad. They are that bad. Their athletic program, nothing to write home about. I literally shared a baseball stadium in high school with the Coppin State baseball team. So their teams are not elite. I don't think they're paying these guys that much NIL. Not like University of Maryland Eastern Shore is either, but this team is coming off an outright win against Morgan State. This team plays good defense. They press a little bit, and I think they'll have Coppin State out of whack on the roads. Love seeing them back up to a 2.5-point favorites. I lean the Shoremen. Okay. Kind of weird there's no money line on that game right now. But maybe that's just because those lines are freshly moving. Okay. Because like I said, they were not just -2.5.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this game because fading Coppin State to me feels a little easy, even with a line move. Sorry to bring it up, but this feels a little Virginia Tech-ish because Maryland Eastern Shore is 0-8 on the road, and they're playing a team who has 1 win all season. And I don't know if that one was a D1 win, so maybe 0 D1 wins all season. You can fact check me on that. Anybody in chat, I don't really know.
They actually did, because the Not in Major Madness dude texted me one time and was like, "Yeah, check out Coppin State today, and they got a fucking win that day." So I'm pretty sure they do have one. Yeah, I swear to God.
It's another one. Another 1-14. I didn't look to see who it was. Yeah, it was UMBC. So
yeah,
1-14 with a 1 D1 win. I don't know. Seems a little easy for me. This feels like it could be a fake sharp spot for the Shoremen.
All right. And I don't even know if I'm going to pay to find out. Not on the best bets. Just a lean, but
either.
Okay. Definitely rooting for University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Have to. All right.
Always.
Anything in McNeese? Your wagon.
I like McNeese. I'm taking them today.
No way.
And you know what this feels like to me? Because I know this is a different landscape of the Southland, but you remember what I told you about Houston? Like they're playing West Virginia, they're -21. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw -21 in the Big 12 with as competitive as it is all throughout. I can't tell you the last time I've seen a almost 20-point spread in the Southland. Now, is this the best team that we've probably seen in the Southland in quite a few years with McNeese? Yeah, absolutely it is. And Northwestern State's definitely worse than they've been in past years too, but an 18.5 does not come around very often, and I'm glad too because I really wanted to fade McNeese against Commerce. That line took forever to come out, so I didn't even look, and I was like, you know what? I can live without fading them. I kind of know what's going to happen in that game. Coming off a Michigan win, they're on the road against Commerce. It's a big letdown spot, and it was. They're trailing for a majority of that game. They came back, won by 6, I believe, 6 or 7, and didn't cover the 10.5, which was the line for that game. So they've already had their letdown spot. Now they're on the road against a team who's very sloppy and undisciplined, and I can tell you why. They've beaten a lot of these teams on the road, like a Michigan, like a VCU, like all these teams. It's because their defense and their press puts teams in absolute hell. So Northwestern State's going to turn the ball over a shit ton. They're not going to get to the foul line. They're very bad at doing that when they're getting locked up on defense, and it's going to be sloppy. It's like this is the biggest line I think we've seen in the Southland and maybe ever with this current cast of teams, and I think it's for a reason. It's like I think they're going to dominate this game.
Okay. I'm with you. Northwestern State is that bad this season, and you're right. They're not typically. They actually beat McNeese the last time these guys played earlier back in January 2023. So McNeese, the wagon, we know they're absolutely loaded. We know their team, their coach is just better than they should be in this conference right now. They're just absolutely cracked. And sure, they already had their scare against Commerce on the road in their last game where they did pull off that comeback win, though, and saved their nice perfect record in the conference play as it's starting up. McNeese laying that spread is hilariously fat. I've never seen a spread that fat in that conference, and I'm with you. I'll lean McNeese with you. Okay.
Yep.
I like it. They're that good. We got Noel the hater coming in with his sub W's. Love to see it, Noel. Keep hating, keep sub banging. W's. Any other late night take me home pieces, Javon? Any Lamar plays? Any Lamar looks?
I don't know about Lamar plays. Lamar and Incarnate Word games are always just the weirdest games on this face of the earth. So I have no involvement in that. Same with Houston Christian, Corpus Christi. Those games find their way to be close time and time again, even though like Houston Christian's always a pretty significant dog against Corpus Christi. Probably the worst Corpus Christi team in a couple of years, and Houston Christian's just always this bad. But I wouldn't be shocked if you just snap your fingers and that game's in overtime. It just it finds a way. Finds a way a lot of the time. But I don't know if I'm going to pay to find out for any of those games. I don't know if I like anything else for the rest of the slate.
Yeah, maybe the worst slate of the season in college basketball so far. Chat, let me know if you guys like any plays for the late nights, but I'm telling you right now, you probably don't. Respectfully. Maybe a little Prairie View sprinkle. Don't let Prairie View get hot. It might be too late night.
Maybe a little bit. Alabama A&M, MVSU under. Could definitely be interesting.
Pine Bluff money line.
Have you seen the I saw a clip on Twitter of I've seen it last year, but Mississippi Valley State like announcers, they do like
Oh, yeah.
hilarious. They
They're
do
awesome.
like this year they did like a bunch of hilarious like intros to the game. That
It was
is
for the girls basketball game, wasn't it?
well, they've done a bunch of them. I saw like a
Okay.
tweet that had like a bunch, like four of them in one tweet. They're absolutely hilarious. So
Yeah, I saw
funny.
one with the ladies basketball, and it was hilarious. They are
Yeah.
fucking must watch. If you guys haven't seen that broadcast crew, they're fucking hilarious. I think they're students too.
Yeah,
Been there
they
for the
are.
last couple of years. They're
It's
fucking
the only
hilarious. They're awesome.
the only reason you could ever get caught watching 0-14 Mississippi Valley State.
It's free to watch. It's on YouTube.
It is,
Sure.
yeah.
Subs. All right, that's enough college basketball for one day. These games are absolute rat meat. Let's move on and talk about the Natty. It's got that time, folks. This game is going to be fucking epic. All right, we're seeing that spread moving and grooving. I think it's up to 5 most places. I'm going to check the Carfax there right now as we speak. But a lot of Michigan tickets, a lot of Michigan talk today, I feel like. But overall, the last 2 weeks, I've heard enough and seen enough Washington love to stick with the Wolverines here and not get scared off on the day of the game. I still like Michigan. I'm not going to waver. They win this game. I don't know if they're going to cover the 5. I definitely lean that way, but I also lean the under. So I'm a little bit worried to lay the 5. That's why I'm parlaying them with the Chiefs this coming weekend. And I do have Michigan parlayed with a couple other plays from earlier this week, a little money line 2-piece greasers that I have locked in that I'm sweating out. So I'll have probably close to 3 to 4 units on Michigan money line here. Some parlays, all parlayed, to be honest with you. Half old bets, half with this new Chiefs bet, which I'll post later today. But I'm still on the Wolverines, Javon. I know we've seen a lot of talk today. I know we've seen a lot of bets. I know FanDuel might be down to 4.5 now, but I'm still not wavering. I still lean the Wolverines to finish the job and Harbaugh to get his revenge against the trendy public Washington Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, my head's in the same spot. I've been using the analogy for a couple of weeks now, really since the Big Ten championship was over. I think this is a team that it's their year, their destiny, just like Virginia after they lost and they were the biggest upset and at the time in college basketball history and in the college football playoff history. I can definitely say that Michigan losing to TCU was the biggest upset that we've seen in that era. So I think they're a team on a mission, and they just beat Alabama. They took down the big dog, Nick Saban, and a game that nobody really thought they had a chance in until game day, where we saw a bunch of Michigan max plays pop up, just like we're seeing today. Like no max plays, but we're starting to see Michigan love after Washington love for the entire week. I don't think I saw a Michigan ticket for the whole 7 days until today. So
I agree.
I'm perfectly fine kind of accepting it and getting it in with Michigan today. I'm not sure I'm going to play it. I do think they cover the spread, but I wouldn't be lying if I said I was not looking for a really good live bet opportunity. And yes, we knew Trent was going to be at Washington. That's your team.
Fucking go, boys.
That's his team.
Let's fucking go. Come on. Come on. Yes. Yes. 2,000 on Washington money line. Holy shit. Dude.
How about?
I don't know if I want to be clapping for him to lose that bet. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, not clapping for him to lose that bet, but clapping for us to win our bets.
That's a lot of money.
That's
what
we're
we're supposed to do now. We're pro bets. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
right.
and somebody said, I can't find the tweet or the comment or whatever, but what are the splits looking like? They're a little public still, even with all the money we've seen come in on Michigan today, which has driven them up to 5 and 5.5 some places at times, but seeing like 50+% of bets, majority just over that pretty much everywhere on Washington. And I think you had this tweet up there, Goots, maybe not, but whenever you have a dog that's getting this amount of points and they're getting public love, I think it's 50% of bets. I think I was just the borderline there. They have stunk in the championship game. So like, not that we're just betting on that, but it's a good side to be on the opposite when you see that, especially thinking about what happened last year, as much as it pains me to say.
Okay. Yep. 59% of bets on the money line on the green book are still on Washington. If you look at the spread, 54% of the bets and a little bit more of the money are on that spread for Washington. So even then, you're seeing all Michigan on your feed today. Maybe it's just the type of day people are betting on the favorites on game day and everyone got in their early action on the fucking public dog this entire week. They're still public, guys. All right. Don't be fooled. Don't be wavered by shit tickets you're seeing on your feed. Okay. Concerns about boosts. Yes, there is one boost in mind that I am concerned about. It is on the Green Book. I don't know if this is something that everybody gets, but Jake Baird DM'd this to me in the beginning of the show, and I forgot to bring it up. It is a Blake Corum to score a touchdown, and Michigan wins boosted to plus 100.
Well,
super boost.
Don't worry about the DK boost because they have one for both teams. FanDuel one's probably Blue Book boost is the one that you probably want to be a little more worried about.
Okay.
I kind of lean under with that anyway.
Yeah, what's the other boost you were just talking about? Not the one I just read?
Michigan minus 2.5, and I think it's 45 plus points.
Good.
So
I like the under.
Yeah, I'm with the under for that.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, they'll all have promos. They'll all have boosts. For a game like this, maybe it's just best to not really focus that much on this because we know every book is going to have a boost just to get their action from their players. So not that stressed about it. Don't love seeing a Corum and a Michigan boost because I do want to take Corum in some capacity today, whether it's his fantasy score, whether it's his 2 or 3 plus tutties on the books, whatever it is. I want to back this guy in some capacity, and we're still riding him out in the 5 guys, 5 piece on Prize Picks too. We need his rush yards, so cannot be having him fucking up.
No, he does.
Okay. All right.
Still feel very confident with him.
Michigan in plus 57 on Hard Rock. What? 2 tuds for Corum is minus 110 is insane. Yes, it is, Big Sally, and it's even crazier that it's probably going to smack. So, Javon, if you're done talking about straight bets here, we can dive in to the Prize Picks board because I know you got a couple angles that you like.
Yeah, we can do that. And Corum's definitely the obvious one. I'm not really worried about the taco or discount or whatever you want to call it. It's definitely, you don't love to see it, but I'm not really fazed by it just yet. But with that being said, I also do see Donovan Edwards up there for a square that's gotten bumped up a yard or so, 30.5 rush yards. So, I think that only plays into Michigan. Not that he's only going to play in a blowout. Like people take, I don't know, like Rico Dowdle or Kenneth Gainwell script-wise in the NFL. But this is what I did on the other side, receiving-wise last game. When you have 2 guys up with a very obvious corp angle of 1, which Donovan Edwards was coming off a game receiving-wise where he looked much easier to hit than the 4.5 receiving yards for Blake Corum was up last week. Now the script is flipped rushing yard-wise after he didn't get many touches against a Bama defense that was getting gashed by the run. So in theory, you got a better matchup here. So you would say Corum is the guy that's going to dominate, and I think he does. But I don't think that's going to come at expense of Donovan Edwards getting his touches and his yards too. So I'll tell you what this screams to me. I think Corum still gets his yards, but this square screams to me there's going to be a big run early in the game from Michigan, and you're going to look up and be like, oh, surely it's Corum. No, it's probably going to be Donovan Edwards.
Oy. You don't want to take his receiving yards, do you?
I don't mind his receiving yards either.
Okay.
It's just I
know that makes a little bit more sense because he's the receiving back. And especially after we saw Corum be the guy last week in the air. I've seen a lot of people talking about wanting to go back to him, go back to the Corum receiving yards today. I think, if anything, maybe Donovan Edwards receiving yards would be a decent look too, but I'm with you on the rushing yards. That was a great sell job as well.
I mean, I like the receiving yards too. I like everything. If they had a rushing receiving for Donovan Edwards, which who knows if they might put it up later, but I would take that. But I'll tell you what, we're talking about the Green Book boost. We're talking about Corum maybe or maybe not getting in the end zone. I think Donovan Edwards mooches a touchdown off of him today.
Ooh.
So, again, does it have to come at the expense of Corum getting in the end zone? No, not necessarily, because I do think that they can get in the end zone a couple times, but I see the Corum boost for a touchdown. The fantasy score, I know you like that, and I don't disagree, but it seems honestly a little low for what I would think for his touchdown odds to get multiple in that game. So, I still think it could hit, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as it seems. And then I see the JJ McCarthy square, which I don't know if they have charts for that, Goots, but I don't really love that square either after how easy it was against a much better defense for JJ McCarthy last week. So that's screaming something weird is going to happen on the ground. So I think it's a Donovan Edwards touchdown.
Could it be JJ McCarthy rushing yards as well? I feel like we see a lot of times in these championships, out of nowhere, these QBs just turn into fucking Lamar. We've seen it in the past with Trevor Lawrence. We've seen it in the past with these guys who don't even run that much during the regular season. And we saw JJ get the legs loose last week for the first time in a while. He had a 25 piece. I mean, he looked kind of quick. Do you think there's a chance that Washington D-line causes some ruckus and maybe JJ's running for his life a little bit?
It's possible. I don't know. After last week, it's tough because, like, I don't know how I feel about Washington's D-line getting that amount of pressure like they were. Like, I don't know. I guess you could say they got on Quinn Ewers, but he didn't really have to run the majority of the game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to have to use his legs nearly as much today.
Okay. All right. Any thoughts on that JJ 1.5 pass rush receiving tutties square that is up?
That's what I was talking about. Like, I don't really care for it because, like, I loved it last week because nobody was giving them a chance, and he had one touchdown in 5 games going into a on paper tough Alabama team, tough Alabama defense, and he had like 2 in the first half and then got one in the second half, I believe. So I mean, that was easy. And now you have a much worse defense. So I mean, that square, while it could hit, it looks very enticing. So like, that's part of the Donovan Edwards touchdown equation for me on the ground.
Okay. Are there any other funky squares that are up that have you scratching your heads? Squares up that if I look at, I'm going to get absolutely wrecked? There's got to be one. There's got to be one.
I mean, Cornelius Johnson, I think our man tagged us in that on Twitter, but that's like the one Michigan receiver that I don't know if it makes sense. It's like I don't love taking the Michigan receivers today because obviously I think it's going to be Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, but that line is interesting to still be up and just about as high as it was against Bama in that game too. So I mean, that could be a Cornelius Johnson bomb incoming, taking the top off of the defense there, and he's also in a weird combo square with, I mean, the best wide receiver in the game and Romeo Dunze, which is maybe a little odd. I don't know how they pair those specifically, but he also has a fantasy score. Go ahead and click on that chart, Goots. This is like he has like the Jonnu Smith pack from yesterday, which his yards were up there after a goose egg. His receptions were up there after a goose egg, and then eventually, like yesterday morning, they gave him a fantasy score, which was also very similar chart to what we're seeing on the board. So like, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if there's going to be a big play through the air, watch out for Cornelius
Johnson. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Do you want to fade Dunze on that touchdown square by any chance, or fade him at all today? Or are you good?
I don't want to fade the touchdown square. I think I could see a Odunze getting shut down for a majority of the game, but he gets in the end zone. That's kind of what my gut's telling me, looking at that square and then the rest of his squares. And then now he's the second discount of his receptions, which is interesting.
Okay. All right. Coming in with another discount. Love it.
Yeah, I guess they're doing a couple of them, but yeah, I don't love too many Washington squares. But the two that I would say, like, I don't love McMillan and Odunze much stuff, but I like Westover and I like Jalen Polk. It's like that's Jalen Polk is always the sneaky option yards wise when they're taking the top off the defense, like early in the game, which I think he caught the first bomb against Texas last week. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but he's kind of the guy that gets forgotten because he's with 2 of the best wide receivers in all of college football, and against Michigan, you're going to need like that sneaky option. Not that he's so sneaky anymore, but he's the guy that I think takes the top off early if they have an explosive play early in the game. And then Westover, I think and Michael Penix is going to be under pressure, which he really never is because they have the best offensive line by the metrics in college football.
Yeah,
it's going against one of the best, if not the best defensive line in college football. So he's going to be under pressure. I think Westover is going to be one of his safety nets kind of across the middle. So he's going to get a couple of catches here. A little greener than stuff I would love to take, but I think Westover is a good little safety net for him today.
Let's take a peep at that Michael Penix 2.5 pass rush receiving tutty square that's up, because it makes me, looking at it, doesn't make me hate the more than. Obviously, I hate Washington today, and I hate the over, so I'm not going to take the more than. Is this a square less than that we're able to take and just fade Michael Penix, fade the name, fade that offense, and him not to just tweak? Or are you scared a little bit by the square being up and how it's looking?
I mean, I would have loved if he went over last week against Texas. It's like I don't love to fade it because you can argue kind of what I did with J.J. McCarthy. Not the same because he's hit these touchdowns, obviously, but like he's going against a better defense, better team, and it's 2.5. Which he didn't hit against a significantly worse secondary. I guess both those weeks between Texas and Pac-12 championship in Oregon. So I'm good there. Like I don't like the more than 2.5, but I'm good not fading it necessarily.
Okay. All right. If you wanted to fade Michael Penix today, is there any way you would do it? Or is he unfadable?
I think he's pretty unfadable because I think they're going to be trailing.
Okay.
So I think he's going to struggle at times, but he's going to put together like those drives and a couple of those big shot throws, even if they're trailing in the game and it means nothing in the end. It's like I want to fade him.
I'm with you. Okay. Do you think there's going to be more squares up potentially closer to game time? Maybe.
They didn't really do that with the semifinal games, so I don't know if they're going to do that for the Natty. I would assume everything's up, but maybe some more stuff comes up and we're wrong.
All right. Krabs, the Nats hat is fucking fire. Yeah, this hat is fucking fire. The amount of people I've had ask me where I got this hat, I know I picked a good one. Maybe this hat will help keep the vibes up for today on Ron Rivera's fired deck. Honestly, the vibes couldn't be better with him getting fired today. So, all right, maybe not going to get any more squares up on the prize picks board. Was hoping we were going to see some interception squares in this game, but not up right now. We'll stay posted, though. Maybe if they add some more, we'll craft up another entry. But definitely have some squares that we talked about that we like today. I still like that Blake Corum fantasy score. Sure, it definitely opened up a little bit low. It got bumped up immediately twice upwards, and that's how I want to back him on here. I just see him getting 2 touchdowns. You're scaring me a little bit, saying he's about to get a touchdown poached, and we'll see how that goes. But I would not be surprised if after all the fucking Blake Corum hype and talk, if it ends up being a split carry show with the backup running back. That's something that I can already see happening in the Natty that nobody expects, and Javon called. It's on the way. So if you want to back this backup RB, Javon, how are you doing it? I know we talked about his receiving yards. We talked about his rush yards. You prefer his rush yards. You've already seen him have a breakout big time run.
Yeah, I prefer his rush yards. I mean, the receiving yards too is also weird. So I have no reason to go against that because that's a play that I would usually take with what is he at 16.5? Edwards is. So I have nothing wrong with that. But rushing yards, I've already seen it, man. I don't think it's going to have to come at the expense of Corum. Like I still think Corum's hitting, and he's going to have big runs of his own. But I think they're going to run the ball down Washington's throat so much that they're going to split carries and they're going to be just as effective.
Okay. Looks like a shitty book is offering Corum to score at -115. That is scary. I hope that is not true or wrong. Okay. Krabs, who's your favorite commander besides Tress Way? And yeah, gosh, tough season for Tress Way. My favorite commander, I would have probably said Jonathan Allen until he quit on the team and says he wants to get traded. So now I got to repick. I'm going to get Terry McLaurin, who is one of the best people, leaders, and guys in the NFL, not just the Commanders. And he is literally keeping this team together by a fucking shoelace. It's Terry. Terry's that guy. It has to be him.
Shout out Terry.
Shout out Terry. Shout out Terry getting 1,000 yards for the 4th season in a row. He should be in the Hall of Fame for scoring 1,000 yards 4 seasons in a row on the Washington Commanders. Yeah. You guys hear how fucking crazy that is? You know what QB is under center? My God. Put up 1,000 yards 4 years in a row with those guys in that organization? Unbelievable. Put him in the Hall. Straight up. Golly, man. Terry McLaurin, what a fucking stud. And then we've got sub bangs galore coming in. Matt Too Frosty, 1 full year, huh? Let's fucking go, Matt Too Frosty.
Let's go.
Great call, Javon, on the B-Rob Tutty, by the way. That was sharp as a fucking tack. And also the Carson Wentz rushing touchdown could not go unnoticed or swept under the rug. I cannot believe you called that a plus 650 and you smacked. The guy ran a 50. It wasn't even like a QB sneak. It was a 50 run. Carson Wentz clearly trying to show off that he's mobile. I think that was the whole point of that game, him come in and say, hey, the rest of the league, I am a mobile QB. Don't forget about it. Okay, if you want to bring me in, be a backup QB for your mobile QB, go ahead and hire me. I need a fucking job for next year. Carson Wentz, what a fucking game from the guy. Cannot make it up. I was making jokes in the living room saying, gosh, maybe we should bring him in next year in Washington for a bridge QB. And my roommates did not think that was fine. And now that I say it out loud again, it really isn't because he was terrible for us. But good for him and great bet, Javon. Unbelievable, dudes.
Yeah. Carson Wentz is a reason that Stafford's going to Detroit.
Yeah.
I think if the Niners would have won that game, it would have been different matchups.
Yeah, would have.
Yeah.
They had to win that game.
Shout out Carson Wentz. Yeah.
Shout out Carson Wentz.
Hilarious.
Unbelievable. Rams futures bettors, you better shake Carson Wentz's hand if you ever see that guy, because he just fucking clutched up for you. Holy smokes. Mini Meg, Krabs, POD, Beluga, Mini Max, Wolverines. Dude, if I post a Mini Meg on the Wolverines ML, people are going to show up outside my door with torches, angry mobs saying, you're not allowed to bet minus 200s. They wouldn't do that with anybody else, but they will for me. So I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm going to parlay piece it with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, my brother's wife is a Carson Wentz kid's full-time babysitter. Wow. That's very cool. I've heard he's a very nice dude. So I have no qualms with him. Need a graphic. Put it up, Goots. We don't need the Dane Dunning graphic. The 50U Beluga Whale. Texas plus 1.5. It's the same thing. If you just put 2 units on it, if it hits, sure. How do you feel about Bob Myers? Fucking ecstatic. All right. I don't give a shit if he came from the NBA. That guy built the Warriors dynasty. I'm sure he could figure out how to make our team better. Can't make it worse.
Yeah.
I'm in. Fuck it.
It helps from an organizational standpoint. He knows how to run one,
brother.
which you might need in the DC there.
You love seeing an owner say, hey, I'm rich, but I'm smart too, and I'm not going to be making the football decisions here because I'm a business owner and not a football owner or football GM. He's just an owner, and he brought in another guy too, 2 NBA dudes. But this is the big name guy right here that everybody's ecstatic about. They're going to fucking call the shots, and they're going to rebuild this team, and it's not going to be Dan Schneider trying to repair it himself, a guy who knows fucking nothing about football, and he's 5'8". This is good. This is an owner saying hands off, lays off air, whatever the fuck that phrase was you learned in high school. Hands off, and let the guys who actually know what the fuck they're doing run the team and bring us back. I absolutely love this. This is a W.
Yeah.
This is a W. And yeah, he is pumping coin. That's why he raised the season tickets a ton, which is ridiculous. But he is putting coin in the stadium and the team, and I'm ecstatic for next season. Do I want the Lions coach? I want McDonald. I want old McDonald from the Ravens.
No.
That's who I want. That's who I want. And we'll see if we can get him. But either one of those 2 guys would be elite. Yeah, Brad Cornelson actually might be a good one. He can come in and change the culture. Yeah. It's made me very happy that you guys have started to hate this guy too. It's made me feel better about it. Fuck Brad Cornelson. Guys, that was unreal. But yes, let's go, Commanders. We're taking command. And let's take command and change that horrid name this offseason too. God, change it. Just Washington. Just leave it at Washington. That'd be better.
How about the football team, man?
Bring back the football team. I was in on the football team. I was the only one.
I was
Nobody
so
liked
in on
it.
the
Now we all
football
miss
team.
it. I was in on. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, Javon. Any king of the boards plays today? I guess we can pivot over to the NBA and NHL first and give you a chance to talk about some plays.
Yeah, we'll go there first.
Hardwood or the ice? What do you prefer?
Let's go to the ice for a little bit because rumors saying you also have a play on the ice today.
Ooh, sure. I got my eye on a team that you like, that you have a future on, that I like to get a win on the road today against a Philly team that's beat them the last 2 times. I like the Penguins. I like that line movement. And I think they get a road win here coming off and out.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I think they, first of all, they got a big win this weekend against the Flames, which that's like a big, you know what I say about the Islanders, about when they play a game, it's not off a back-to-back, but like I love fading teams off of playing a back-to-back when it's a really physical team. Most of the time it's the Islanders, and it's not off a back-to-back, but the Flames have kind of become one of those teams. So like for the Flyers, they're playing another game at home, and this is back-to-back games at the very least where they're going to be playing a good defensive physical team. So like this game, I think the Penguins, which we were talking about the game on Saturday while we were sweating it out, which not sweating out in the game, but we were sweating out the other games while that was happening. That was the most ridiculous game I've ever seen in form of hockey. They had the 2 goals taken back. They lost 3-1 to the Sabres, and you know what they did? They put 41 shots on the net, which is not really Penguins' accustomed style of hockey. So now I think they're going to go and do that again on the road against the Flyers team. They're going to pelt Carter Hart with shots, and I really like Carter Hart's over saves today too, because I think he's going to get pelted the entire game, and the Flyers are just going to have to sit back and, I don't know, take it, and the Penguins win this game. So I'm all in. Bounce back performance.
Okay. Penguins them out. Any other plays on the ice?
I like the over in the Stars game too, because
Over
We
6.5? Did you get
yeah,
6? What'd you get?
six.
Okay.
So we have Matt Murray in net for the Stars, not the old Matt Murray from the Penguins, but new, younger Matt Murray, different guy. Because Wedgwood has started, I think, like 10 or 11 games in a row for the Stars. It's been a ridiculous run. I don't know why he's been playing as much as he has, but he finally got a break. And now the Stars go to play a Wild team who, since they've been injured, outside of when they played the Blue Jackets over the weekend, their offense has been god-awful. Absolutely terrible. They have no real spark there. They're missing Kaprizov really, really badly, and a couple of those guys too, not just him, who are finally going to start circling their way back into the rotation. Not tonight, but very, very soon. So I think this is a very high-scoring game because we look at all the lines. Yes, it's a little bit of a Matt Murray tax and net, but the Wild, who against any competent team, really in the last week or so, have not scored more than one goal. You got a little minus 160 on the over 2.5, which again, a little bit of the Matt Murray tax. No Wedgwood, no Auditor, obviously too, but they're at home where they've been especially pitiful the last week, which is super surprising. And the Stars, whenever they're on the road, weird shit happens. Their defense is dominant at home. On the road, it takes a little bit of a turn. Now I think we get chaos. It's kind of the game we're seeing here. Fleury has been up and down in net too, a lot more down than up. So I think we get goals in this game super, super early, and the Stars are going to have to chase this one from the start.
Okay. Does it worry you at all that Dallas has been an over machine this season and recently?
No, because a lot of it's come from their offense. In the last matchup too. Last matchup was a high scoring game. I think it was 7-3, 8-3 with the starters in net, but it was Dallas dominating that game. And like when they're on the road in Minnesota, I think you get wild goals when you expect it the least to start this one off. And when the Stars are chasing, their defense breaks down, and that's why they're over machines in certain games where they lose too. It's like if this was at home for the Stars, I don't think I would really consider it, but in Minnesota, I think this game gets really weird.
Okay. Big Matty Mart, yes, if this is something chat wants to do before we hop off, be more than down to craft up an entry for the Natty. Just let me know in chat. You guys want to craft one up with us? Do you guys want us to craft one up for you? You want to craft one up on here? You want to do it later? Let me know in chat. Okay? Jacko over 1.5 hits his air. Sure.
And yes, Miro is out for Dallas. That is huge. Massive. And the Stars are notorious for going down, so you can pencil in Wild first goal.
Okay. All right. Dubs, any other hockey? I know there's not that many games today. You just went over 2 of them. I think there's only 4 games. You like anything else or not?
Yeah, I don't love anything. I would be lying if I said I wouldn't want to take a stab at the under in the Avs game, but I'm going to stay away. It's a weird game.
All right. Any NBA? Any bets in the association tonight, Javon, before we craft up a squad ride, craft up a Prize Picks Geyserman? Any NBA plays for the kid?
I do got some that's catching my eye, and one of them's on the screen.
Okay.
I like the over in the Celtics-Pacers game.
Thank God it's not the Wizards. Okay.
No, not the Wizards. But I find it interesting because they've already played 2 times. The Celtics defense has the Pacers number for whatever reason. They're one of the few teams that's been able to shut them down this entire season. We saw totals, I think, of 234 and then 220 something. And they just played on Saturday, like we were talking about last time. They played on Saturday. The Celtics were -7 in that game. They dominated, and the Pacers did not score very much. And now Jason Tatum is out today, which is why we see a shorter line on the Pacers side. But it makes it really interesting that total in the Saturday game was 250. The total in the game today without Jason Tatum opened 245, and now it's steamed up to 247, which I think he got a little bit of good news with. I don't know how early this was decided, but Porzingis is going to be playing. But with no Jason Tatum, this game being the 1 out of the 3 where we see a total getting steamed up higher and higher doesn't make much sense to me. Like basketball brain, it does, because Tatum's going to make a pretty big effect on the defensive end, but for the casual bettor, you see Tatum out, and that's not really a spot for offense that you would love to go to for the Celtics, because now it's going to be Jaylen Brown heavy, which I guess a lot of people love. A lot of his Prize Pick squares and props today, but I think the Pacers offense bounces back today. Maybe it gets an outright win on this little 2 games in a row series, but that total going up, I can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, the over's public, but the splits are relatively sharp. 63% of bets, 88% of handle with that stupid little green up arrow on the stupid little green book. So it's a little bit sharp. Some bigger bets coming in on that over, and your breakdown was perfect. Okay, these guys just played the other day. Now we got no superstar Tatum. Now that total's creeping back up. After that game went under the other night. Easily.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many teams in the NBA that have held the Pacers to 100 points. They scored 101. So I mean, 219 last game, not even anywhere close. So like I thought the adjustment from 250 to 245 and a half with no Tatum and a couple injuries for the Celtics was maybe a little appropriate, but then we see it start to get steam back up, and it made me look twice, especially when you go on a certain app and there's a lot of people on a Pacers team total under because they've soared over the first 2 times they've played, and now again, it's interesting.
That's very interesting. I'm not liking a lot of these other games. Probably fade OKC and take the Wizards on the ML tonight. That could be a good look.
Yeah, you see what's on the screen?
Whoa.
So
could it be a pool party?
It could, and I'm not going to go to the grave taking that square because I was looking at Poole for a little bit because he fits the system today, and I was actually talking with Ahan a little bit, and he agrees. Go to the 3-point allowed square for Jordan Poole. And yes, I know it was 14.5. It got bumped up, and they have been like that for days. So that's why we take Jordan Poole to shoot. So his 3-point allowed square, I think, is at 6. That's like the one that looks super, super weird out of the entire board. The only non-normal looking one, which a couple of those, which we know very well, have included some foul trouble today against the Thunder. He's gonna get shots up. So like that's what I want to take. If we're taking Jordan Poole, you can make him, you can miss him. I don't give a shit.
That totals up to 246.5 too. Jesus.
Yeah, he's
we're getting points in that game.
The Thunder are going to give him plenty of looks.
Yeah, and he sucks. So why even take the points? Let's just eliminate that and just take the shots because we know he's going to be jacking them.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure if he's going to be in the torture chamber. I would think Kuzma's got to be in the torture chamber now.
I mean, Kuzma's definitely got probably 5 or 6 inches on Poole. But Kuzma's the best offensive player and weapon. So if they just put Dort on the best guy.
I think he's got to be on Kuzma. Yeah, Kuzma.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jordan Poole's going to get shots up. Regardless if he makes them, he's taking 6 or 7 threes, probably some more.
Yep. All right. Wow, Trent dropped 2K on Washington ML. Yes. I cannot believe it either. Tyus Jones points is a look. I'm always down to look at that. I'm always down to look at Tyus Jones points or first quarter points. Let's take a bait. He's at 12.5. I'm good on that, brother. I'm good on that. Let's just stick with the Poole angle. All right. I don't have anything else in the NBA with these games. Only 6 games, I believe, today. Anyways, the focus is on the Natty. All right. Let's go get Michigan chat. If you're looking to parlay them with something, I'm going to take them with the Chiefs on the ML. Okay. And they're going to bring the coins home this weekend for the NFL wild card. But I don't want to lay the 5.5. We'll see that. I wouldn't mind maybe a little college football teaser with Michigan and the under. But that's only going to be if Michigan gets up to 6 or 5.5. I'm not going to do it and tease through 0 and put them at +1. If that spread gets any fatter, I will maybe take that teaser in college, which you're not supposed to do in college. But I definitely really like that under. I think the teams are going to be tight, and I think their offenses will have some struggles. I've seen some comments in chat like Michael Penix's pick is -220. Yeah, that's probably why the picks aren't up on the board. It's going to be sloppy. These guys have looked great all season, but they're playing the best teams they faced all year. All the pressure, all the eyeballs, all the attention is on them. They're going to be sloppy. They're going to make mistakes. They're not going to be as effective and score as many points as they typically do. And if you bet an under in a championship game, you're in every single scenario, every single sport, you're going to be up points. That's just how it goes. The books know what the fuck they're doing. They know everyone's betting the over for the vibes half the time, and they're not here to lose money. Okay? Bet unders in championships, and you make coin. This is another example. I think if these defenses shine, I think Washington's defense, their defensive line is going to get theirs a little bit, but mainly Michigan's defensive line against that elite Washington O-line that took Michigan's award for best offensive line this year. Yeah. I'm sure they took that personally, and that Michigan O-line has been gassing up that D-line saying, all right, boys, these guys think they're fucking better than us? No chance. We're Michigan Wolverines. We don't play out west in that bullshit conference. We play fucking Big Ten football, and we are the best O-line. We'll see. I think the O-line conspiracy is one of the weirdest angles of this game because
Yeah,
I guarantee you they'll be both out to prove who is better. These are 2 top 5 O-lines in college football. Very curious to see how they hold up against these pretty fucking good rushing attacks and pass attacks.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Sure. All right. Give me the under in this game and give me Michigan parlayed with the Chiefs on the ML.
Sure.
All right. Bet under in championships and make coin. Yes. Somebody put that on a shirt. All right. Penix goes top 5 if he does it tonight. If Penix does it tonight, I will tip my cap. I will tip my cap and charge it to the game. And he is just one of the greatest college QBs we've seen in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
if he does it tonight.
Regardless, he is. But
unbelievable season.
Any king of the board plays?
King of the boards. Javon?
Let's go with that Norfolk over.
Ooh, you are getting active. Okay.
Yeah.
Norfolk over in college basketball.
Yeah, 139.5.
All right. Yeah, I'm not going to take anything today. Is that soft?
No.
Okay. I just really hate the board in every other sport, and Michigan ML is already parlayed enough for me, and I don't want to cost this king of the boards. I can't be taking this contest lightly. I got to be locked in. Okay?
Hey, fair enough.
I'm going to take today off. Javon's got to play, though, for king of the board, and if you guys aren't hip, we'll still give you some time to go on this Book It BTL tweet and comment a little crab or a milk emoji or whatever to get involved and potentially win some Prize Picks promo. So, Goots, if you can pull that up real quick. W's, Goots working his ass off right there. Go on this tweet on Book It BTL, put a crab, put a milk, and we're going to pick out somebody a week from today and give you Prize Picks promo in your account at the beginning of this BTL show next Monday. Okay? Why not? There's a pretty good chance you could get some promo if you comment under this. So, and Javon is out for blood as well. You know, we got Super Tuesday tomorrow. Let's fucking go, Devin.
We do.
Yes.
We do.
Yes. And I'm going to have at least one play from that shit on there as well. Okay. W's. Let's do a little squad ride action here, Javon, and then maybe we'll craft up a little Prize Picks entry to take the edge off. But Goots, run that shit. It's time to craft up the POD squad ride. W's. Let's get to fucking work, Javon. What are we putting in here? What are our best bets? I feel like we got to put in that Norfolk State, NC Central over.
Yep. I'm in for that, of course. I'm in for all of my plays. I assume you like that one. Anything else? Really just you heard it and you're just like, we got to take this.
Yeah, let me comb through the board.
Yeah, do some combing. Do some combing.
I think we put Pittsburgh in there on the ML. Okay. Let's put them in there. Pitt ML. I think we put make sure we're not missing anything in the NBAs. Gosh, that Pacers angle is so interesting. That over. I want to see the splits one more time.
I mean, I assume
deal with it.
It's a Pacers over, so I mean, it's not really ever going to be the sharpest thing in the world necessarily. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. After that last game, it seems incredibly weird.
That was one of my favorite plays that we talked through on the show today. I think we should put that in there if you're good with that.
I'm in for that.
Sure. Okay. So right now we have Norfolk State, NC Central over. We got Pitt ML. We've got Boston and Indy over 247. Sure. Now let's go to college footballs. Javon, what do we do with Michigan's, man? Because if we put them in the spread, they're going to win. What do we do?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to do.
Do we want to parlay them with somebody? We're not putting the ML in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to parlay them with somebody. We can't put that in, like, the squad ride, though.
We could. If it hits, we could.
We could,
but
that never works, though. That never works. That's like putting a player prop.
The under in there.
Auto curses it.
We could put the under in there. You want to put the under in there?
I feel like we just stay off of the Natty entirely for the squad ride.
Dude.
Unless Chad is begging. Because we know it's probably going to win because it's the most important game of today, very clearly.
Well, Hagelin likes the over, and he's a terrible sports bettor, so the under's in good shape there, Javon.
All right. Said they're on their knees. Said they're on their knees for the under.
Let's put it in there. All right. Washington, Michigan, under 56. Sure. Is there one more, Geyserman? Did we like today? We don't have to force anything. What about that Wild Stars over or McNeese? Do you prefer one of those two? I have a preference. I want to see if it matches up with you.
I mean, the gut play out of the better one of the two would say McNeese, but I will be 100% transparent and say, hey, it's a little bit biased because I want to bet McNeese. But big spreads as of like the last 2 weeks, I have not done fantastic at in CBB. So take that as you will, but I really like McNeese in the spot today.
That makes me want to take it even more. You're fucking due.
Fair.
I like McNeese. Let's put them in there. The McNeese wagon. It's about time people start to get hit. All right. Looks like they're at 19.5 now. Jesus.
Whew. I mean, yeah, they're going to win by 20.
Keep on moving that line. Chat, we got 5 plays. We got 5 winners. Get your votes in. Hurry up. Go. There's not time. Hurry up. We've got the Norfolk State NC Central over 139.5. We've got Pitt ML on the ice. We've got Boston, Indiana over 247 in the association. We've got the Washington, Michigan under 56 in the Natty. And we've got McNeese State minus 19.5, Javon's wagon on the road today at Northwestern State, laying a fat spread. Crabs, golf clapper, I'm not voting. Come on, boys, let's go. Hurry up. Go. Hurry up. Get your votes in. There's no time. Damn, we got plenty of time today. But there's no time. Hurry up. Click the right button, chat. As always, do not overthink it, but please do not underthink it. Don't be lazy and complacent, but don't overthink it. Click the right button.
Balanced vote I've ever seen.
This is a balanced vote, and that's not making me feel great. Typically, it's just an absolute landslide, and then we're counting our guap at the end of the night.
That means we got a lot of good plays in here.
It could. Corum bumped to 22. W odds on the States update. Keep on moving that puppy. Javon, what are you voting for, bro?
Let's see. What am I going to vote for? Let me give me
for Norfolk over.
Yeah, I mean that one's out of the rain by now, out of the running. But it's play.
Don't let him get hot. It might be too late.
Don't let him get hot.
Okay. W's chat. You guys want to craft up a prize picks for the Natty tonight? So you guys seem pretty ecstatic about that. Let us know in chat right now if you want us to craft up a little Natty prize picks entry with you. Go. Hurry up. I want to see yeses. I want to see goats. I want to see stock up emojis. I want to see them all. Go. All right. Crabs, if Pens win, you better throw that on king of the boards. I'm not going to force. But we are going to craft. Javon, I think the first talking point for this national championship entry probably has to be what we do with Blake Corum's.
Yeah. I mean, I feel confident enough in Corum that I would consider doubling up, but I feel like we don't have to.
We do have him in the 5 guys entry, which cashed the 4 legs already. We're just waiting for this Blake Corum one. Why is PP holding out on Penix Russian man? I don't know.
I mean, his line's like 2 yards, right?
Oh, maybe that's why. Will they add Edwards fantasy or Edwards rush receiving? I don't know, but the game is sneakily only in 3 or 4 hours, so I don't know if they're going to be adding anything else. To be honest,
might be at our wits end for squares.
What about that Loveland Michigan angle from that tight end?
Loveland? I don't think we brought him up. What's the deal with Loveland?
Look at that square. I don't know why, but he's a little high. He's only smacked this one of his last 5. His receptions is high too. Maybe we see McCarthy hit his safety net a little bit more today and go with Loveland.
I mean, I'm not against it. I would say if I'm looking at all the squares on the board, though, I mean, I don't like the L word, but
That scares me.
yeah.
Respectfully, JJ, that scares me.
If I'm looking at all the squares on the board, because there's this one that looks like this, and then there's Cornelius that looks like this, the one difference I see is one has an additional square. That's a fantasy score, and one does not. Looking at me very interesting.
So you want to go with Cornelius, huh?
I kind of do.
Okay. Cornelius. Let's go to that backup running back that we haven't used yet.
Edwards.
For Michigan here, Javon.
Yeah,
Edwards. How do we want to back him? Rushing yards?
I think it's his rushing yards, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you're all in on that, and I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, now let's pivot to some Washington squares. Let's see if we can find any. Chad, any feet? Any feet today?
Any feet?
Let me know. Let me know if we got any feet in here. Need any feet in here? Okay. Polk.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what route we want to take here, because we can take who's going to be the safety net for Penix today when he's under a lot of pressure. I think that's going to be Westover, or we could take the Odunze's ridiculously corp and I guess the other discount that they've left, and I think the guy that's going to really take the top off the defense is going to be Polk.
Westover receptions minus 143 on Blue Book. 2.5. Is that true?
Is it?
Can somebody in chat check the Carfax? We already have this in the Five Guys entry that we're sweating out, reverse line movement. So I don't know if we're going to put that back in here and double dip. Why take both Michigan RBs over? Well, we already locked in the Blake Corum one, and we think this is going to be a Michigan rushing attack game. So we're pivoting, and Javon fell in love with this backup RB Edwards square, and I think his sell job is great, so we're sticking with it. What about I mean, look, dude, if Michigan's losing this game, let's just cut the shit and take Michael Penix passing yards, unless it's gotten bumped down.
It's definitely gotten, or at least on books, it's very, very low. On books, I was looking, you saw like 292. And yes, this has definitely gotten bumped down because it was at like 299, and I think it was touching 300s briefly.
Chat wants to go with Loveland.
Loveland?
They keep talking about Loveland and Westover.
I mean, I like Westover.
Westover's minus 115 for receptions on Corp Book, okay.
I mean, I like I don't know. Very few times do I really want to take receptions instead of yards when we're talking about Washington's offense. I know the whole crutch for Westover is dump downs because he's going to be under pressure, but I don't know. I don't think we need to get cute with Westover. Let's take his yards.
You want to take his yards?
If it's between receptions and yards, yeah, I probably would.
Okay. Let's put that one in there. Let's see if we can find a Washington fate. I would love to add a Washington fate to this entry. There's got to be one. Maybe we fade the kicker. Grady Gross. He's gross.
I feel like we don't want to do that, though, if we think you're going to get stopped.
Yeah.
So they'll be kicking.
Do we just cut the shit and take Poke?
We could do that.
I don't hate that.
Take Polk. I mean, only other options are what? Jalen McMillan to take him, which he could also be a little bit of a dump down option.
And you said you do not want to fade Odunze.
I didn't say that necessarily.
Oh.
If you can sell me this pen, I'd be fine.
I'll never forget my first job I applied to. The lady actually asked me to sell her this pen. Like a literal job. She held up a pen on the interview and said, "Sell me this pen." That was the weirdest thing ever. I mean, dude, look at Odunze's yards.
I mean, yeah.
Ridiculous. And right now, he's obviously the talk, but he's for receptions. God damn it.
What if he
He's
just
also up there for a touchdown.
I was gonna say, what if he just goes under his yards and scores?
I mean, if I had to fade one of his squares, Javon, the one I want to fade the most would 100% be Rome Odunze, less than receiving yards.
Oh, I know.
Just by looking at the chart.
I know.
Has that gotten bumped?
Can do a quick check.
Okay.
I think it's been like it might have gotten bumped down a yard or so, but it's been like relatively in the same spot.
Old man, All-American in chat likes Roman Wilson less than receiving yards. Sheesh. And opened up at 97.5.
Yeah,
okay.
97.5. So 2 yards.
Can we take that? Can we fade Odunze?
You just tell me it's heading and it's going in.
Yeah, it's heading. He's not going over this fucking receiving yards.
Sure.
That's a ridiculous chart.
So
All
right now we
we have
got
Cornelius Johnson, more than 7.5 fantasy score. We got Donovan Edwards. Good, let's get back up here. Donovan Edwards, more than 30.5 rush yards. We got Jack Westovers, more than 27.5 receiving yards. And we got Rome Odunze, less than 95.5 receiving yards before he ships it off the league. Whole world on Penix under, eh? Maybe that's a good thing we're not taking that. Okay.
Who's on Penix?
Wow. Ace 4 is saying he's standing on business. He's got an under 99.5 slip. Okay.
Ooh,
standing on business.
Why don't we stack Odunze less than receiving and Penix less than passing? I don't want to take Penix less than passing if I think Michigan's going to be winning this game, respectfully. I just want to fade their best receiver whose prop is low and getting bumped down continuously. And everybody on the world's on his Marlin.
Yeah, it's going to be Polk catching a bomb.
Right.
I will say, if we're expecting this Michigan rushing attack, what's stopping you guys from taking McCarthy under pass yards?
I mean, it's not that we don't think they're going to throw for anything necessarily. Because, I mean, when they do throw, it's not like their secondary is good either. It's just like
Let's hope they throw to Cornelius Johnson. That's the one.
Yeah, we do want Cornelius. Yeah.
Gates, the 1.5 pass rush receiving touchdown scares me a little bit after he tweaked last week and everybody faded him except for me and I cashed and everybody else folded. Now they're all going to want to take his more than here probably, and that shit's not going to hit. I'd probably go JJ McCarthy less than 1.5 pass rush receiving touchdowns. Is probably what I would do. Now, am I a little bit worried about some sort of bullshit QB sneak on the goal line to protect the football in an intense spot at the end of the game? Sure. But if he rushes one in, I'll charge it to the game here. I don't think he's passing 2 touchdowns.
Dude, let's go to the specials category. There's some funny squares up there.
Oh, no, folks.
Imagine. Is it Caitlin Clark and Michael Penix?
Oh, my God.
Bro.
Not that
Dude,
one.
look at the next
one.
one.
Go to the next one.
There isn't. Oh, right here. Jordan
What
Poole.
the? McCarthy, the favorite to win MVP of the game. I don't know about that. Huh.
Dude, what if Poole just hits that himself?
McCarthy is the favorite.
That, bro.
McCarthy is the favorite to win MVP of the game.
Because I don't think McCarthy's going to be doing a ton of damage through the air or passing that many touchdowns. I still stand by the RBs doing the job tonight. Damn.
Well, that other square on the other part of the screen could make you feel good because I think the most corp NBA play today is Tyler Hero. I've seen that a million times. So he's in the combo with Rome Odunze receptions, which also happens to be the discount.
How bad has Tyler Hero been? 1 for 7 in his last game, but went 4 for 8 from 3 before that, and each of his last 2. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I have no interest in fading Tyler Hero, to be honest with you, but
you don't want to fade him?
He is ridiculously corp today.
Okay.
You hear the MVP odds?
Wow. Okay. JJ. Blake
I feel like it's fair for the quarterback to be favored.
Oh, for sure.
Even if it's a run-heavy team.
Yeah.
But the amount of talk about Blake Corum over the last week, I would have expected him to be at least a little bit shorter. To be honest with you.
Maybe.
I don't know. You're right, though. The QB would be ahead of the RB no matter what. It's interesting that he's a +4 hundo. Winners. TYB Tony. We got winners going across the screen on the bottom, brother. Can you read? If you need help, I can read them out loud if you want. Let me know. Okay. All right, Javon. We got Coastal KC coming in with his sub-8 W's. Love to see that. Who are you taking a stab with on the Natty MVP odds here, Javon, if you had to?
I mean, I would take nobody because I feel like even if Corum runs for 150 and JJ McCarthy does like 2 cool things, he's probably going to get MVP just for narrative sake. And same thing, like if Washington wins, it's going to be Michael Penix. It doesn't really matter what anybody else does. So
okay, sure. We got the 4-piece locked in. Goots. We're going to run through this puppy one more time. Cornelius Johnson, more than 7.5 fantasy score. Donovan Edwards, more than 30.5 rush yards. Jack Westover, more than 27.5 receiving yards. And Rome Odunze, the stud, less than 95.5 receiving yards. Yeesh. Okay. That's so nasty. That just might work, folks.
Just might
work. Okay. Shit, man. I'm locking this puppy in. Are you good with that, Javon?
Yeah, just locked.
Let's go. I'm in. Chat, we'll post this on BTL Twitter as well. Okay. We've got the squad ride locked in. I believe it ended up being the Penguins on the ML. Goods, can you confirm? Is it the Penguins? Sure. Okay. And then, yeah, we need to show the people the entry one more time. Looks like they're trying to lock it in before any bumpage. So we'll get you. All right, here it is. Feast your eyes. Okay. And we will tweet this slip out from Book It BTL as well. All right. Good. Haglin likes Odunze to go for 200. Perfect. Javon, any other plays, any other winners? You said you're doing what play for King of the Board today?
The over in the Norfolk NC Central game.
Sure. All right. Love it. Anything else, Goots? Any Goots cues for today? Any Goots winners? Any Goots logs?
No, my Goots cue was, I guess, the JJ McCarthy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Goots cue.
All
right, chat. Enjoy the heck out of the Natty tonight. We will fire up a stream for this game here in a little bit. It's got to be Michigan. All right, stay posted for the bets. Check out Javon's Twitter right below there. Check out my Twitter. We got winners galore. We're staying hot. And let's hope we stay undefeated, knock on wood, in the new year for squad rides, which have started out 5-0. All right, chat. We've got Pittsburgh on the ice tonight. Love that we picked the favorite play on the board and not just the football and Natty play. That shows growth, chat. So W's picking something else. I was surprised and expecting that under to hit. W's for the Penguins. Javon's team, he just bet to win, make the playoffs for that future. So good vibes. We're rolling with Pittsburgh on the ice. We've got this 4-piece prize picks entry. All right, and we've got sweats tonight. We better see all you guys in the sweats later tonight. Might even dust off Lembong and see if we can get some rips. So W stream today. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, same time as today. In same place, all right, 2 p.m. Eastern primetime slot until Trent and Co. get back, all right? And we'll catch you guys tomorrow after Michigan wins the Natty, and then we see John Harbaugh end up going to the Commanders, all within a couple hours tomorrow, all right? Good luck tonight. Don't blow the bankroll on a Monday, all right? But if you do, it better be on fucking Michigan because they're winning this shit. All right, chat? We'll be soon.
Who will?
Squad